Hi English 101 students, this is Miss Alsammani, and I want us to talk about this first essay you guys are going to write, which is the research paper. I wanted us to start off with honestly the most challenging paper of the semester because research is one of those things that can be daunting to students, but I am here to guide you through this whole research process. So if you have questions at any point, please email me, call me, and I can guide you through this process. So for this research paper, I would like you to utilize outside sources. So that could be articles, books, documentaries. I'm not as strict as some as far as what kind of sources you can use. So I am open to even like a YouTube documentary or a Netflix documentary. Some of those are really interesting. It could be an interview. So if you know someone that's an expert on the topic, you can interview them, and I'll show you how to cite an interview. So it doesn't have to be a physical book or an online article. I will say if you are using online sources, stay away from Wikipedia. That's not a legitimate source. Or stay away from blogs and things that don't come from reliable sources. It needs to be an expert on the subject. But essentially, you're using an outside source to learn about an influential person and how he or she has influenced today's society, whether for the better or for the worse. And then I want to make sure that you while you may choose the person, you need to ask my permission for your topic before beginning your research. So I do have it in discussions now where you can do a topic proposal. And so essentially you'll propose your topic in there, write a short outline to give me an idea of the direction you want to take your research paper. It doesn't have to be very well developed, just enough so that I know how you want to organize your body paragraphs. And just make sure that you post in there before Thursday at midnight, so that way you can make the due date. And then also I'll have an opportunity to give you feedback on there. I do go into discussions regularly and reply to your posts. So definitely check back after you've posted your topic proposal so that way you can benefit from my feedback as well. Also, you may not repeat a topic that you have written about in the past. So whether that was for the English 101 research paper or a high school class, because I do run these papers through an anti-plagiarism software. And so if it is the same paper or very similar, it could flag it as being plagiarized. Because on my end, it just says that it's from another student's paper. So it doesn't say that it's your paper. So just make sure you do write an original research paper for this class and don't reuse one from the past. The rough draft due date is Sunday, July 12th by midnight. I need you to turn in your rough drafts in discussion board, because I do like you guys to do peer review for one another's research papers. I want you to benefit from each other's feedback, and a lot of times your classmates can catch things that you might have missed. So it might be a formatting suggestion, or it could be that you're missing your thesis statement, or that something's unclear, even grammatical errors. So like your classmates can really help you refine your draft and turn in a final draft instead of a rough draft. Notice that the final draft due date is Wednesday, July 15th by midnight, and I'll need you to turn that into the Content Week 3 folder. The way that I have my class set up is that your final drafts are submitted in content folders, and I have submit your final draft here. Essentially, it can't get any clearer on where you'll need to submit it, and then obviously check the Content Week folder based off this topic sheet. And this topic sheet is in the Week 1 folder for those of you that might just be checking out the content folders. So notice that the points possible are 100 points possible, and it's 40% of your final grade. So it does have quite a bit of weight in the course. The length of the research paper needs to be at least 1,000 words in length. So that's actually a rather short research paper, but I know you guys, with being in a mini term, you didn't have time to do a really long research paper. To be honest, we only have a few weeks for the whole course, and honestly, in my fall and spring courses, I would spend the amount of time we're spending on the whole course on just the research paper. So I did do a shorter research paper for this class. Notice that for formatting, it's going to be 12-point Times New Roman font, double space with MLA heading and style. And so that should be the same formatting you did for English 101, but I do want to do a quick refresher for those of you that might have taken 101 in the past a long time ago and need a quick refresher on what MLA formatting looks like. So on page 161 of the Seagull textbook, this should be the same textbook used in English 101 if you did take it at Wallace, and it's part of the course requirement for the textbooks. So essentially page 161 has the best example for MLA formatting. Notice that they've got the heading here. So you'll have your name, my name, the course, and the dates. Notice the title is centered. Your last name and page number go in the top right hand corner. It's Times New Roman font and it's double spaced throughout. So that's very important for this class because MLA is essentially the Modern Language Association's formatting, and it's what all of the English classes require. So just want to make sure that you guys had a quick refresh on that. Page 161 is the best one to check out for that. Also notice you must have a works cited page. So essentially it is not a research paper if you've not provided a works cited page. The works cited page is the last page of the research paper. So say if it's a 3-page research paper, it'll be page number 4. But essentially it lists all of the outside sources you used in your research. So if you did not know the information before you wrote about it, you need to list who gave you that information, where you found it from, whether that was a book, an article, documentary, whatever. So the best page to check out for a works cited example is on page 168 of this textbook. Essentially, this is the best works cited example I was able to find. So essentially, you'll want the works cited title centered. Notice that the entries are all double spaced, just like you do for your other essay. Like the other part of the essay, it's always double spaced. Also notice it has hanging indent, so essentially the second and third lines are indented after each entry. And then it's also alphabetized, so it's in alphabetical order based off the author's last name if there is an author. If there isn't an author, it'll be based off of the title of the article or the title of the book. So as far as specifics on how to cite each source, a lot of you guys like to do online sources, so I'll show you the best example for like a website. Work on a website is on page 151 and it's number 31. So like I said, if it has an author listed, you would put the author's last name and first name first, then the title of the article, the title of the website, the publisher of the website, that's usually at the bottom of the page, the date it was published, the URL is just the link, you would just copy and paste that in. And then the access day is just the day you found it. So say if you found it on July 2nd, you would list the 2nd July and then 2020. So that's one of the most common types of citations you'll need for the works cited page. Also notice you will need to have in-text citations in this research paper. So in-text citations are essentially parentheses at the end of the quote that you pulled from a source. And the best page to check out for that is page 123 of your textbook. So notice here you can do a signal phrase, which essentially just says the author's last name and then a verb, usually describes or argues or illustrates. Any of those verbs could work. If there is a page number, it would go at the end of the quote or the information. If you wanted to do it like this, you could do the author's last name and page number like this as well. If there's not an author listed, it's page 125, number 7. So it would just have the article title there. So that's one of the most common questions I get as well, is like, if I don't know an author, what do I put instead? It's going to be the title. Notice on the works cited page, whatever starts your entry is what goes in this parentheses, because that way I can find the information. So if it is an author's last name, since it is alphabetized on the works cited page, I can just flip to the back of your paper and find that information on the works cited page. So if you have any questions whatsoever about citations or in-text citations, I'm happy to help. I know this stuff can be a little strange and it's unusual, so I'm here to guide you through this. Your research paper must include at least 3 outside sources. That really is not many for a research paper, and like I said, I did that because it is a shorter class. It's just a mini term. So I do want you guys to still try to find 3 outside sources, especially since I am so flexible on what kind of sources you can use. And just make sure you choose a topic that you can find information about. It doesn't need to be so specific that it's difficult to find sources. So if you need help finding sources, or if you even want to send me a link to a website that you're not sure how to cite, I can help you cite it as far as like finding information like the publisher or the date it was published, that kind of thing. I'm happy to help. Notice I do have a final draft late submission rule. So Whenever it is due, you want to make sure you turn it in that day, because minus 10 points will be taken off every day late. And that's just to emphasize the importance of due dates, especially in a class that goes by this quickly. If you procrastinate, it could be a very stressful last week of the class if you're trying to knock out essays at the very end. So I really want to make sure that you guys focus on turning in your essays on time. All your final drafts will be graded using the English 102 grading rubric. That is on the Getting Started page. Towards the bottom, I've included a PDF of the grading rubric. And then they'll also be scanned with anti-plagiarism software. So just make sure if you find information online that you cite it, you give the author credit in that works cited page, and that way you will not get in trouble for plagiarism. But like I've emphasized before, if you have any questions about the research paper, please contact me. I really want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable with this assignment. And if you have struggled with research papers in the past, if you just want to send me an email and reach out and ask me questions, I'm happy to guide you through this assignment. I'm here to help. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching my whole video, and have a wonderful day.